Ezekiel and Jeremiah, there is what we called it prophecy against nations. And Egypt was one of those nations. So all of them speaks about Egypt, and speaks about 5 different cities will be destroyed in Egypt. One of those 5 different cities, it was Memphis, which we are going to see it now, or see the remains of it now. The story of Memphis starts with the story of the unification of Egypt, the north and the south under one authority, which has happened by the year 3,200 years BC. In that time, the king marched from the south, as we explained this morning, going to the north, attacking the north, and his motherland capital was something like 420 miles to the south. So it's very hard with this, in this old time, and with this old way of transportation, to control the whole country from this faraway capital. That's why he would like to establish a capital in the middle, where he could protect and control the 2 kingdoms together. The middle place in Egypt, it is where Memphis, and that's why, let us say, the location was considered as a capital for thousands of years. Except only the time of Alexandria, it was the capital of Egypt. That is starting by the year 332 BC till the year 642 AD. So it's the only 1,000 were the capital far away from here. But the rest of the time, the capital nearby here. If it is not Memphis, it is Cairo. And Cairo is something like 15 miles to the north. If it is not Memphis, it will be Lisht for the 7 years of famine. And that will be to the west side, something like 60 miles. So it is nearby this location, because that is here where we got the connection between the north and the south. The city has a great temple, and this great temple unfortunately had been destroyed, all of it, and most of the things inside it was broken for small pieces. That's why what we are going to see in Memphis are only some remains of the ancient Egyptian antiquities. We will not see a great temple in this city. It had been destroyed already. But we will see the statues, which is supposed to be inside the city itself. We are going to see different statues and different pieces of stones, but we have 2 masterpieces in the area of Memphis. The first masterpiece, it's a statue made out of limestone for the very famous king in the ancient Egyptian history, Ramses II. And the second one is a Sphinx statue made out of alabaster stone, and they called it under the name of the Alabaster Sphinx of Memphis. And till something like 20 years ago, they don't know this one belonged to whom, because there is no name written on it, and they don't know this one belonged to whom actually, until 20 years ago, when we start to use computer science and Photoshop, and we start to scanning all the faces of the other statues and comparing between the faces of the statues and each other's, and we have a match. And the match of this statue, it is a statue of a queen called Queen Hatshepsut. So we have a statue for Hatshepsut, most probably, and we have a statue of Ramses II. Why we take you to Memphis? We are doing a pilgrim tour. Why we go to Memphis? It was before the time of the Abraham and the time of Jesus by a very long time. Why we take you there? First, Abraham, when he came to Egypt with his wife Sarai or Sarah, the capital was Memphis. So the palace where Sarah had been taken to, it was here. The place where Abraham settled for a period of time, it was here. When Joseph came to Egypt as a servant or a slave, and he lived in Egypt inside the palace of the chief of the guard, the palace of the chief of the guard was in Memphis. He had been exiled to power here in Memphis. The king who has the dream was living here in Memphis. That's why we take you there. And the 2 statues, we speak about it, Ramses II and Hatshepsut, they could be very related to our Exodus route. Most of the scholars in the whole world believe that is Ramses II in the famous movie, 1956 movie. He is Yul Brynner, Ramses II, he is the Pharaoh of Moses. That is one opinion. And we have another opinion saying no, he is not Ramses, because Ramses was ruled Egypt 1279 and he passed away something like 1215, 1220. So it can't be Ramses, the king of Moses, because we believe Moses took the Israelites out of Egypt 1446, 1447. From where I got this number, 1446, 1447. It is so clearly in our Bible. I don't know if you have a copy of the Bible with you or not. So you have it with you now?
Mine's at the
My friend Ryan, he got it. That is the spirit we need. No, keep it, keep it.
Oh, sorry. I thought
Open,
it was one
open.
again.
King is first. Book of King is first, chapter 6, verse 1.